So Elon Musk bought Twitter, and it seems to be a pretty split decision on the populace of the people that use Twitter on whether they're excited that Elon bought it or they're not happy at all and kind of worried about where he's going to take the platform. Mr. Musk buying Twitter is an interesting move, especially considering that he is a top 10 most followed account on the platform and actively using. Some of his tweets have even shaken markets. But regardless of your opinions of Mr. Musk, him buying Twitter obviously comes with a certain purpose. The guy is the CEO of two of the biggest companies in the world and is also involved in a number of other things, and of course keeping up his celebrity and personal brand. So any move he actively chooses to make in regards to buying companies and whatnot obviously has to come with a deal of responsibility, purpose, and drive. If you look collectively of all of the companies that Elon is the head of and just kind of what the general purpose is he's bringing behind them, pretty much all of them have in common that they want to further the human race and make the world a better place. Clearly, since he has so much going on in his time as a CEO of multiple companies, obviously him buying Twitter, he wants to try to bring that same approach to the platform. As an avid Twitter user myself, I use it every single day. I'm also curious as to what installments and changes Elon wants to make to this platform. So in this video, I want to break down 5 things that I think that Elon is going to bring to the platform to positively change it and make Twitter a better place for us all. Before jumping into number 1, go ahead and comment down below what your thoughts are on Elon buying Twitter, if you're for it, if you're against it, and why. And be sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and leave a like if you enjoy it. So the first major thing that Elon's kind of talked about and presented to the table in regards to buying Twitter is he wants to remove all the bots from the platform. If you ever looked in the comments under a post and see accounts that just look like there's not a lot of action going on their account when it comes to following, they seem like they were created pretty recently, almost maybe leaving kind of like a spammy or scammy type of comment. Well, Elon wants to put something in place that could take out this for good on Twitter. Currently on the platform, bots are thriving, being able to like, retweet, comment, and just tweet out random things that might have been pre-coded in. And I think the reason because of this is because Twitter is a publicly traded company. And one of the reasons why Elon wants to take it private is because if you're a publicly traded company, you have to worry about shareholders and their opinions and what they think of Twitter and where it's going in the direction of its success. Well, if you have bots that are actively boosting engagement on the platform, retweeting, liking, commenting, pre-coded to tweet things out, well, it's going to boost the engagement numbers as well as elevate the active monthly user numbers that Twitter has. So when presenting those to shareholders, it looks favorably on the company. So Elon taking the company private, this will give him the ability to leave shareholder opinions out of the discussion and cleaning up all the bots that are on the platform. This will also reinforce Elon's idea of creating more user authentication, verifying who certain people are when they join Twitter, that it's an actual human being on the account or a business or a new content page that people want to run and who's really attached to it. This is kind of similar how Facebook has Facebook pages, but you have to have an admin and a single account to be a part of that Facebook page. And hopefully this user authentication will incentivize the user and make it a better place to really want to create their own content and bring more to the table because they don't have to worry about bots spamming their posts or just when consuming content, bots trying to scam people. The next thing that I think Elon's trying to bring to the table when it comes to this has been talked about a lot is pulling back on censorship of the platform. I think there's some concern initially with this move for some people because maybe they don't want certain people allowed on the Twitter platform to be able to have enough voice to talk to their community. But Elon stated that his mission and goal with pulling back on the censorship and free speech is because he wants both the most radical and polarized 10% on each side of the political spectrum to be equally unhappy with this decision, meaning that you're not going to be able to, be able to cater to every single person's opinions, wants, and needs, but he wants to be able to provide the same service and platform for all the users that are authenticated on the Twitter platform, regardless of where they stand on the political spectrum. And this could go from beyond politics with any individual that maybe, you don't agree with, or you don't like their platform, or you just don't like them in general as a person. And Elon wants to make sure that every single individual person that's on the platform that's authenticated can have a voice, and if they have to be shut down, it's really only for specific reasons that are set in place. The next thing that I think Elon wants to add to the table is being able to pay creators better. I think the best way that Elon's going to go about this is using the current transformation from between Web 2 to Web 3 and using cryptocurrencies to be able to pay creators. In the esports world, there's this thing kind of called play to earn where you can play a game, and there's developing companies doing this where you can play games and earn cryptocurrency as you're playing them, depending on how well you do and the different types of content that you make within the realm. Well, bringing this to Twitter, there might be a tweet to earn policy where the more content you create and the better engagement that it gets, the more you're going to be able to tweet to earn certain currencies that are allowed on the platform. And I'm sure that this is going to have to do with cryptocurrency. Another reason why I think Elon's going to bring this to the table is it's almost essential that really the only top accounts on Twitter are able to monetize themselves. And a lot of that has to go through their own marketing, their own affiliate marketing strategies that they bring to the table. There's not too much that Twitter is able to provide them in regards to monetary payment. It really is regarded on their audience. If you look at the current creator economy outside of Twitter, it prioritizes a lot of short form video content. So that's TikTok, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, even YouTube Shorts and Snapchat Spotlight. But if we look at the domain of kind of the power players in there, it's really TikTok and Facebook/Instagram Reels. And those platforms pay out creators based on the amount of views and engagement that they get. Something that Twitter is kind of lacking on, especially since it's not really prioritizing short form video content. I think Elon might set something up like this to be able to pay creators similar to how those platforms pay, but it might be in the Web3 space, and it might be more towards the written form Twitter SEO approved content versus maybe short form video content. But who knows? Elon might bring a short form video content platform to the table for Twitter. I want to go back to this constant theme of user authentication. If you bring the user authentication more heavily to Twitter, then the company itself would be able to verify who certain creators are, and with their account, how much engagement that they drive to the platform, how much good content that they create. And being able to verify users, they'll be able to make sure that the right person gets their payment, and it's not just some bot collecting checks and trying to scam people. The fourth thing that I think Elon's going to bring to the Twitter platform is an open source algorithm. The benefit of adding an open source algorithm to the Twitter platform is, one, it'll provide more transparency for creators and users on how the Twitter algorithm is working. From a business stance, since Elon's taking the company private, this will allow the change of the open source algorithm, and it will reduce the maintenance costs for the software. It'll increase the speed and make it more flexible, as well as increase security. Before we get into the last thing that I think Elon's going to add to the Twitter platform, go ahead and comment down below if there's anything that I haven't mentioned in this video that you think Elon's going to bring to the table in regards to just making the Twitter platform better. Is he going to add anything that you think will make the Twitter platform worse? Let us know in the comments. So last but not least, the final thing that I think Elon's going to bring to the Twitter platform, he even ran a poll of this on his Twitter account, and that is the infamous decision to bring an edit button to Twitter. I think the majority of Twitter users, especially looking at the results of that poll that Elon launched, are in favor of adding an edit button to the Twitter platform, but the world still remains a little divided, as there's still some users that probably are against this move. So what exactly would be the effects of implementing this change? Well, on the surface level, adding an edit button to Twitter seems like it'd be a simple thing. But in the reality, this might change the integrity of the platform of having the original stated tweets up there. My personal idea on this topic would be being able to add the edit button into Twitter, but implementing some sort of a blockchain technology that would be able to backtrack what the original or edited versions of the tweet were. Just having a backlog of everything that was originally added or deleted from the tweet. That way you keep the integrity of what was tweeted out on the platform, and you can't just make a sudden change to certain tweets for various reasons. This also falls in line with the user authentication thing that needs to be implemented into the platform, and keeping the authenticity in the original tweet by having that backlog will be able to show people that, hey, maybe they just needed to make a quick edit, or what exactly was the change that they needed to make. But the current tweet is as it sits on the platform, can be updated and changed as needed, but there's still a backlog that people can check, and to keep that authenticity with all the users in the community. So that's pretty much my thoughts on the 5 things that I think that Elon's going to bring to the platform that's going to positively impact it. If you want to comment down below anything, your comments on this topic, and if you enjoyed the video, please give a subscribe and a like to the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.